long time ago. But the important thing that I wanted to talk about here was just being able to use less in making, like, for example, a monkey. Now, originally, I'm pretty sure that I made bones for all of his monkey tail, and I bet I had a lot of animation and a lot of interesting rigging. And I probably have more polys on this character too. But you keep reducing polys and reducing bones, and it's meant to be so that if this is far in the background, you know, it works good enough and people don't notice, right? This isn't a main character or a foreground character. It's just a little, like, I think he is kind of a bit of a character that impedes your progress in some way. I think he's yanking something that bothers your train tracks or something. But anyway, in this case, let me explain how I got this to be much lower in bones. So usually in a rapid turnaround situation, I'll use something like Character Studio, and I do have that here. So if I unhide the Character Studio bones and I hide everything else, you can see all of them. Now, interestingly enough, the Character Studio bones, I just went ahead and hid the other bones, but if I click that, they come back on me. And those could have had a lot of animation. I think they did, right? It was very ornate. I also had animation on his toes and different things going on. I think his hands grip a little bit and do a little bit. But you can actually, when you're reducing, get and just turn off those skin weights to different things, and just kind of map an entirety of the whole hand or the entirety of legs to things. So let me show you one example that's kind of surprising that it works. So I'm going to hide, or maybe I'll leave that. I'll leave the mesh, and I'll show you my skin weights here a little bit. And this might be surprising that it can work. One of the things that I think I did is I just went ahead and did not have a lower leg bone in this case, and that can work because there's not much of a lower leg there to see anyway. So if I had just creatively blended between this foot bone down here, it looks like I just have the thigh bone and the foot bone and nothing else, not even this toe. Even though I had animated the toe and everything, it's nice to have. It's gone in this case. And nobody noticed, not the client, not the people in charge over me. In fact, they were requesting fewer bones, which is why I kept eventually editing this down to 7 bones or something like that. But I wanted to show you the process, and this is kind of how I do it. Now, one of the things, I don't know that I did it yet here, but I would have to adjust the model into this hand shape and then make that the hand shape instead of the original Da Vinci. So if you look at the original Da Vinci here, let's go back to the figure pose. Yeah, the hands are out like that, and I have to curve and grip them into the other. Now I think I just instantly go to the first pose, so I don't have a transition. But if and it was nice to have the hands, you know, move like that, but if you're not going to see it in the background, you might as well just have the hands tightened in Da Vinci pose, right? And then make a snapshot of the hands tightened, and then put them gripped on this vine. And then you can do the same thing with this hand and upper arm as I did here with this leg and lower arm down here. I mean leg and lower leg, where even though I did have a lower leg that connected the feet and everything, the skin weight is just creatively done so that, you know, it's not the best solution. Well, unless you're trying to reduce the number of bones and the number of resources that the thing is doing. So you can tell I just went ahead and mapped all the skin weights for that tail to be, continuous with the last nub probably. So if I go ahead and hide those again, you can see if I further animate this somewhere in the middle here, it's all with that nub, right? And I think the same thing here with this knee and leg setup. Now, even though it will sort of animate like something, let's do a local animate. It looks like there's a lower leg there, but there's not. That's just creative skin weighting. Let me show you how that looks on the mesh itself. So if I isolate it, you can see that what I did was I just sort of have some of this blending between the legs. I probably could have even blended a little better. This may have been, a mid-process file. Let's grow that, and if I blend a little, it might look a little better. It might look a little worse. So if I go like this and loop this one and blend that harder, maybe that looks better. It's a bit of a preference, and it is kind of gooey and stretchy and noodly, so you really have to manage that. Maybe I would tick that down a little, right, and make it a little bit. That probably was about as good as that thing could get, considering I wasn't even using a bone for the lower leg. The foot was just sort of mashing weights, and there wasn't that many polys anywhere in the edges in there in the first place. I mean, with something like the thigh, you only had one edge that was totally. I was probably animating these. Let's see where I could stronger weight the thighs, but I don't know if that would have made it look any better.